Hey everybody, what's up? How is everybody tonight? Welcome to my ninth episode of my show Wrestling with Brent. Just going to be going over some quick little wrestling news. Then I'm going to be doing the AEW Dynamite review, and I'm going to go ahead and also give my predictions for the big AEW pay-per-view next Saturday, All Out. Uh, so let's get started. I'll try to make the wrestling talk really brief so I can zip through the review. Sorry for the late video. I had some things going on, so here you go. Uh, Raw Monday night was as everybody predicted it was going to be, as I predicted. It was terrible. It was awful, horrible. Almost fell asleep. Uh, SmackDown, I usually actually like SmackDown, but it was terrible Friday night. Last night, I almost fell asleep as well and watching that. Uh, the ending was the best part, and not just because it went off, but in the end, they was doing this thing. They was trying to get Roman Reigns to sign a contract the whole night for his match at Payback against Braun Strowman and the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Um, Pierce finally gets back there. Um, Roman sits down on the couch and he turns over and looks and said, Paul Heyman's beside him. He said, I'm going to win and get my title back. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. That's what Paul Heyman usually says. And he came up Heyman. It's Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman has quotes what Roman Reigns says, believe that, and they smile and sign the contract and it goes off. So apparently it's giving you the impression that Roman Reigns is heel, which I hope stays. You never know nowadays the way WWE is. Uh, Roman Reigns should have been heel years ago, at least, 5, 6 years ago. Uh, I'm perfectly happy with it. I like Roman Reigns. I like him at babyface. I mean, fine. He didn't bother me. I mean, I always liked Roman Reigns personally myself. I think it's got a bad rap from people, but I think him being a heel would really help WWE and really give him a shot in the arm they need and give him a fresh, make his character fresh, updated. Uh, I think they could do a lot of things with it, and they could just open up a lot of new stories and stuff with Roman Reigns. Maybe start some new rivalries, some new feuds, um, maybe even some new factions. You never know. So I'm happy with it. That just goes to show you how desperate WWE is, where they're actually trying things now. Even the Thunderdome, I still don't like it. It still sucks. Still a terrible idea. Boring, in my opinion. Uh, but, all I can do is watch it and critique, I don't work for them. They don't pay me. They could care less about how I feel. I mean, I'm just a fan. But, it goes to show you how desperate WWE is because I actually now starting to actually just try things. Experiment. Yep. In other news, Bullet Bob Armstrong. Uh, he's a legendary wrestler from back in the day. He passed away last night, I believe it was. Last night or night before last, I believe it was last night. Uh, Heck, or even Thursday night. I'm not 100% sure now, but he died. For those that don't know, that's Road Dogg from DX's father. He had several, the whole family was basically wrestlers, and he was a promoter and a booker and I think a writer, producer, wrestler. So he's a wrestling legend. That's sad that he passed. Also, non-wrestling related, the Black Panther died. Famous actor, he was one of my favorite actors. Chadwick Boseman, great actor. He also did the Jackie Robinson movie 42. He did the Jackie Brown movie. It was good as well. He did Draft Day with Kevin Costner. He did a movie recently called 41 Blocks, something like that. That was pretty good. Cop movie. He died of colon cancer. That was just sad and tragic, and I hated to hear that. But great actor. I didn't even know he was sick. That made me sad to hear that. Yep. Alright, so enough talking about the other news. So like I said, WWE, Raw was garbage as usual. SmackDown was garbage. I think the Payback pay-per-view is going to be garbage. Alexa, stop! I think the Payback is going to be garbage. Uh, yep. So, WWE is just hot garbage right now. Just horrible. Yeah. Alright, so on to the AEW Dynamite review from the other night. Alexa, shut up! Alright, so AEW Dynamite, we had, the crowd was back for the first time. Uh, they sounded really good. The fans was pumped, the energy was up, everybody was hyped. I was just getting hyped in my chair, I was AEW, man, I was hyped, I was pumped up for it. And it didn't disappoint. It was a very good episode, in my opinion. Uh, yep. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, just really quick before I go back on this review, I thought NXT was good the other night, so that's good for them. It was good, a good show. This particular AEW show was still better, in my opinion. Just what I was saying in the last video about the crowds, NXT's crowds, and it's just not a lot of life to it. It's just, like there's no energy, no, I don't know, I guess you'd say passion or emotion. Just, I don't know, just kind of And it brings the showdown, the tone of the showdown, quality of the showdown. Uh, Midway back to the review, the first match, we had a tag team gauntlet match. Um, right before that, Jericho come out. He had all the fans singing along with Judas with him again. I thought that was cool. The fans into it. Jericho had a big smack. Yeah, he was very happy and excited. Uh, so we have the Young Bucks versus Natural Nightmares, first match of the gauntlet match. Um, Marshall looks for the QT special, but the Bucks hit stereo super kicks. Then the death as well. QT shoots Matt in the neck and rolls him up for two. Then hits a pop up forearm. The Bucks hit more super kicks and BTE triggers for the win. Natural Nightmares got eliminated. Uh, Next we have the Young Bucks versus Best Friends. Um, Matt holds Trent hanging on the apron and Nick hits a senton onto him. Nick makes the tag and Matt sets Trent on the ropes for 450 from Nick. Hangman Page appears at ringside and he holds Nick's leg so he can't make a tag. And Trent pins Matt. The Young Bucks got eliminated. Hangman stands by the Bucks at ringside not looking at them. They didn't try to ask him why, but he just walks off. After the break, Best Friends will face FTR. I'll talk more about that here in a second. Uh, have a commercial break. Get back to commercial break. Now we have FTR versus the Best Friends. Dax top blocks Chuck, who's been favoring his leg all match ridiculously. Tony Schiavone reminds us all that the FTR matches have rules. And if that's a novelty, Dax continues working on the leg and applies a reverse Biggie 4, calling Trent to tap out. Winners are FTR. That easy win grants FTR tag team title shot against Kenny Omega and Hangman Page at AEW All Out on September 5th. Next weekend, the title for that match. Looking forward to it. Get a commercial break. Come back for commercial. You get a really cool video package from Darby Allin. Uh, Basically telling Ricky Stark he's not afraid of him. He's not afraid of anything. Not scared of anything. Uh, and it showed him jumping off a bridge. It looked really cool. It was in black and white, like Darby Allin's videos in black and white. I thought it was really neat. Very cool looking. I believe it was on the Joe Corner show. I think Jake DeMarcus did like it, sort of like a night commercial. And I agree with him. It was really cool. I liked it. Cool little vignette. Uh, all right, next match we have Lance Archer with Jake Roberts versus Sean Molina. Uh, Molina tried to chop Archer, but he never sells him, then slaps him down and hits a release suplex. Archer hits repeated running back elbows in the corner, then poses on the top rope. Archer hits a choke slam but stops to pin himself. Archer hits the blackout, then slams his head a few times to the mat for the win. Lance Archer won. No surprise there. He's a beast. Hope he gets a big, huge title run soon for one of the titles. I wouldn't mind to see him even have the FTW title and just do some whooping on people with that. I think it'd be cool. Uh, all right, we got another commercial break. Back from commercial. Jake and Lance still in the ring. Uh, Random music hits and Taz walks out. Taz, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks. Taz says he and Roberts have never crossed paths, but he needs to realize Archer won't be winning the Battle Royal. Taz says one of his men will be winning, and Cage holds his FTW title up. Darby Allin comes in from the side on a skateboard, slides in the ring and attacks Starks. They brought to the back while Taz and Roberts keep the big guys separated. I liked it. That was cool. Darby flying on a skateboard looked really cool. Always love to see Darby, especially because on the skateboard. I just think it's cool, along with his music and his face paint. I just like it. Cool little vibe. Uh, MJF is showing up a neck brace and a walker backstage like last week. Uh, and he berates his handlers. He walks over to the ring, grimacing. Again, he had a visitor woman that was smiling a lot. I thought it was pretty funny. Uh, MJF comes out with his handlers and his walker to sign a contract for his match against Moxley All Out. And Moxley's out second. They have a long promo, but it was pretty good. Um, Basically, long story short of it, make a long story short, John Moxley tricked MJF into signing a contract. He added a final page there that they didn't see, and it was next week on Dynamite. Moxley is going to have a match against MJF's lawyer. Uh, if MJF's lawyer don't show up for the match, uh, MJF's title match, and all that gets called off. It was just pretty funny. I liked it. Um, all right, we got a commercial break. Next match, we have the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros. Fatty Kingston versus Brian Pimadrino, Sonny Kiss, George L.A., and Griff Garrison. It was a good match. Pillman tags in and attacks the Butcher and the Blade. Pillman gets the better of them before hitting the ropes and connecting them with a clothesline. The Butcher and the Blade is a suplex powerbomb combo. The Lucha Bros then hit a dropkick and double arm DDT combo for the win. The winners, the Butcher, the Blade, and Lucha Bros. Eddie Kingston gets in the ring, and the referee raises his team's hands. Kingston says it's still about a war. All five of them will be in it, and one of them will win it. Evil Uno comes out with some of the Dark Order goons who are carrying a coffin. Uno said he's been so happy this past week that he purchased 6 lawnmowers. For those that don't know, the stuff with the lawnmowers is stuff from being the Elite, the YouTube show. See him on the ring. He said this is a celebration of this. And he put the coffin on the stage. He says the bidding farewell to Cody, and they open the coffin to see Ken inside, wearing Cody's neck tattoo and dressed like him. Ken gets out and they drape the Nightmare flag over it, saying that this is the final match in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin of the Nightmare family. Bodie Lee comes out that day wearing a suit and holding the TNT Championship. Tony Schiavone comes down to the ring to interview Lee. He says a year ago everyone was laughing on him and his men, but now look at them. The Dark Order chant Cody sucks. Bodie says the open challenge is over, so all the indie wrestlers can stay clear. He says Cody will never get the TNT Championship back. Bodie introduces the newest member of the Dark Order, Anna Jay. 2 weeks later, in the introduction, Lee hits one of his goons because they said they've been celebrating for a week. Lee says, I believe it was John Silver that he hit. They've also had something they've been doing on the Elite, being the Elite. They've used John Silver as like a comedic character, and Buddy Lee is smacking him and stuff and bossing around. It's pretty funny. He's actually smacking so hard that the guy sells it and falls back. It's really funny. One of those things you can't really scrap, you just have to watch it. Lee says he's unstoppable, but comes out to Dustin Rhodes alongside QT Marshall. They get beat up by Dr. Super Scout, comes out as well, so he rides a lot. Riley's against a lot of Dark Order, but comes face to face with Brent and Alice slaps him. Along with Lita attack him after Lee is gone. Matt Cardona comes out and helps Dustin Marshall and Scorpio clear the good from the ring. Lee comes back and berates them before staring down the baby faces. Alright, commercial break. Next, at the commercial, we get Dasha Fuentes. She interviews Heyman in the bar. God, it's always good to see her. I just love Dasha Fuentes. Dasha Killer, she's amazing, beautiful. I hope to see her wrestle again soon. She's like such a nice lady. But and I think she's a good interviewer and a decent wrestler myself. So it's always good to see her on TV. Uh, but anyway, Dasha Fuentes interviews Heyman in the bar and asks why he screwed Matt and Nick. Before he can enter, the Bucks appear and get in his face. Asking if he's afraid of them, Matt asks who the H is who Hangman is. He's obviously not their friend, and he's never been good enough. Nick calls him a jobber, and Matt takes the drink out of his hand and throws it over him. They tell him he's out of the elite and slam the door. Heyman's left staring at a broken mirror. So I thought that was cool. They kicked Hangman out of the elite. I'm going to give my thoughts on what I think is going to happen with that eventually, and y'all let me know what y'all think. I might be wrong, but I'll give you my thoughts here shortly. Um, Next, we have a 3-on-1 handicap match. Dr. Britt Baker, Penelope Ford, and Reba with Kip Sabian and Big Swole. Uh, Swole climbs up and hits a Hurricane Rana, which Reba jumps for a second afterwards. Swole then slides out of the ring and punches Sabian down. Ford attacks her and gets her back in the ring when Reba hits a Mutant for a 2 count. Reba grabs Baker's crutch and swings wrestler at Swole, but she dodges and hits Ford. Swole knocks Reba out and pins Ford to end this disaster. Big Swole. Uh, Penelope Ford usually always puts on a good match. Big Swole usually does a good job. Um, Reba was pretty decent when I saw her in TNA. But this match just shouldn't have happened. It was very sloppy. It was a lot of botches. I think it being a handicap is kind of threw everyone's timing off. It just the whole match didn't flow. Moves didn't sync. They wasn't. None of them was syncing together. So like they was the timing was off and just everything just seemed to get discombobulated. I guess you would say. Just didn't flow. I think it was one of those handicap matches. I think they should have just left it with Penelope Ford versus Big Swole and still had Britt Baker and Reba standing on the outside of the ring. I think that would have been fine. I think Reba being in the mix, a handicap, I just think it just made too much going on at one time and just everybody trying to do their moves, get their spots in, and it just too clunky, just didn't work. Looks like more something that should have been on Raw. It should maybe not been on show. Should have been on Dark. That's no disrespect to the women. This is what, and it felt worse too. It just was an off match. Put up Ford usually always puts on a good match, a solid match. She did what she could. She did okay. She didn't do terrible, but uh, Reba hasn't wrestled much in AEW, hardly any, and she just looked rusty. And I just think it just wasn't very good. Um, but hopefully, this terrible match, hopefully the match at All Out between Baker and Swole, because the rivalry has actually been pretty good leading up to it. Was so much been quite kind of similar, like with Swole getting banned and stuff like that. But uh, was some other good times, when they threw the trash on and stuff. So hopefully but like I said, hopefully that match at All Out pays off, and it'll be worth it. Uh, so I thought all the matches on AEW was good, but this is by far the worst match. Uh, but oh well, every show can't be perfect. Most shows can be perfect. Uh, that's when the podcast this show as well at the All Out pay per view. Dark Order appears at ringside, and the over to Taya Conti, who makes it gleefully. So that'll be interesting to watch. See if Taya joins Dark Order. I've always been a Taya fan since she was back in NXT. She's beautiful, talented, and can wrestle. So hope they sign her full time. Her and Eva Lee, along with Diamante. They need to get on that. as soon as possible, in my opinion. Uh, all right, the main event we have Sammy Guevara versus Matt Hardy. This was okay. Seemed like a couple other segments earlier in the show went over long or too long, and this whole thing just felt rushed. And it really it's really been a good feud, and I hate that this match got rushed. They probably just should have waited and done this at the pay per view. But if I'm there, maybe they could just do it like a rematch and just add a different stipulation. Maybe do like a TLC match or a False Count Anywhere match or hardcore match or a death match with Typical Vargas and Matt Hardy or No Holds Barred, anything goes. Or like put them in a cage would be cool. Or like I don't know, like a dumpster match or something like that. Or Inferno match, just something wild and crazy. Um, Add that on to the last minute of the pay per view, and I'd actually have that leading off the pay per view, and that would give them more time, and that will actually let them finish this rivalry off the right way, because it has been a good rivalry, especially with a few mistakes by Sammy and, heads getting busted open and stuff. I think they should have a little more time. That's the only bad thing about doing live TV. Same thing what's happened to Jericho last week, that Cassidy match, and yeah, it just got rushed, and it wasn't on Matt and Sammy. It just happens, especially on live TV. Uh, Matt as well, because of the chair shot from weeks ago, is not able to climb the ropes. Guevara takes the opportunity to suplex him off the top rope with a table and chair. Sammy Guevara got the win. Orange Cassidy runs out and tackles Jericho with the announce desk, and Will Falk's wall. They brawl on stage as Phil's trying to separate them. Cassidy and Superman punch, and they roll it on the floor until they're separated. And that's it for the AEW Dynamite. Uh, so like I said, even this part of after the match got rushed. Uh, I think this was a timing issue, and they had to kind of hurry up and get everything here like they did that Orange Cassidy and Jericho match, where it ended on that quick little roll up. So I just think this was just bad timing, just the circumstances, just that happens, Flap TV, like I was just saying. There's really no way around it. Just the worst thing is to not get everything in. At least they got everything in technically. Well, like it was like, hey, what's going on? I mean, they got everything in, so that's the most important thing. So I thought this was a very good show. I loved it. Uh, 8 out of 10. Even with those two not good matches. I thought everything else was really good. I liked the storylines, continuation storylines, the video packages. Tay Conti maybe joining the Dark Order, and Dark Order making them a little more stronger, like, with the casket and all. I thought that was a nice little touch. Also, they basically said that Heyman Page out the Elite. My opinion is eventually they said Cody's taking an extended break. He's doing a TV show on Stars with Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow from the show Arrow. For those that don't know, he's a big wrestling fan, and he's wrestled several times. I want to say he wrestled at the first All In pay-per-view, the very first show before AEW took off, the one that I paid for that was great. I want to say he wrestled in that, and he did a WWE match once or twice, and maybe appeared on Ring of Honor. I watched all his stuff when he did those, but I can't remember exactly when and what place he done it for. But he's very good, very talented. Like to see him wrestle more. And Cody's also going to be on that show with me. It's going to be on Stars, one of it's called Heels, like the term babyface and heels on our Stars. It's going to be about wrestling, original TV series about wrestling. So Cody's going to take an extended break. I think if I had to guess, his time of break would be so we have August, September, October, November, December, January. I think he'll come back around the 5 month mark sometime in January, uh, maybe even late January, as a surprise. Nobody's going to be expecting him. I think he's going to come back. I believe it's going to be him, Hangman, FTR, Tully Blanchard, Yeah. Cody, Hangman, FTR. That's four people, and then Blanchard, five, and maybe Arn. So that's six if you count the managers. So I believe that's going to be make up the new four horsemen they've been teasing. New four horsemen teasing. So I think it'd be cool. But this time too, you have to figure Dark Order they have built up more and more. Glad to see them back up. So I think they're going to have basically on a feud with Four Horsemen and Dark Order. Maybe two. Hangman's going to want in on some of the action of getting to the elite, and they're going to also feud against the elite. So that should be interesting. I just think that's what's going to happen. Um, they're still teasing this Kenny Omega fight as well, even though it looks like Hangman's basically turned heel when he's out of the elite. They could be a double turn. They both could turn heel, but I believe that because they was keeping you guessing who you think it was. One week it like it was Hangman Page one turn heel, and then like it's Kenny Omega here lately. If I had to guess, I think it's going to be Hangman. Despite the season I was playing earlier on, was trying to hit Heyman started doing it first. I'd be happy with either one. Doing Hangman or Stan Face. I like them both. They're both talented, both Hangman and Kenny. So whatever they decide to do will be good, I'm sure. Um, yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen with that. My all-out predictions. I think Darby Allin's going to beat Ricky Starks. Should be a good match. Um, I think FTR is going to get the tag team titles. I'm not sure if the titles are on the line next week or not at all out, but if they're not, I believe FTR is going to win them soon. And eventually, it's going to be the Bucks that's going to be chasing after for the titles. Um, let's see. Sheeta and Thunder Rosa for the title. I think Sheeta's going to win just because Thunder Rosa's not under contract and when she's the NWA champion. But you could be surprised. Nobody expected Nyla Rose to lose her title that last time she did so early. So, especially that way it been built up, and then she won. Thought she'd have a big title run. It was built as like some unstoppable beast, which she isn't. And you know, she lost the title to Sheet, I believe, very quickly. So they could surprise everybody and be a big surprise. Thunder Rosa coming in and winning. I love Thunder Rosa. I like Kawashita as well. They're both great wrestlers, but I'm just such a big Thunder Rosa fan. Anytime she wrestles, I just love to see her win. It'd be cool to see somebody from another company come in there and win and even score a contract because the way AEW is very lenient with, you can work for other promotions that can, her, them and Billy Cork can work because, Cork was nice enough to let them use Thunder Rosa for this pay per view. So they can work it out, having it right, where she can work both NWA and AEW, Thunder Rosa. And, she can go back and forth, travel back to each show and defend both belts, NWA Women's Champion and the AEW Women's title. She could also take it and defend it on NWA against NWA people and have NWA people come over to AEW for matches and her go back over to, if she wanted to, or just have people from NWA come over and fight her in AEW for the AEW title, and then she can go back over to NWA and, defend her title there against NWA people. Uh, I can see that being really good for the women's division, and anytime Thunder, somebody's big as Thunder Rosa, and just that would help both brands, and cross promote for both brands, and build up some recognition for both brands' women's division. It can be a good thing. Uh, so I'm just going to say I think Thunder Rosa is going to win the title. I'm going to go out on a limb, take a chance, roll the dice. Um, I think MJF is going to beat Moxley for the title. And yeah, I'm an MJF fan. I like him. I'm a Moxley fan. I know MJF is a heel, but he's a great heel. In my opinion, he's not that good of a wrestler, but he's such a good talker. He's going to get better as a wrestler, though. But Moxley's had the title long enough. He's had it a year almost, pretty much, or over a year. Um, he's been a good champion. I think he could have been better, but, they did have a pandemic. I liked him. I've always liked him. I liked him when he was getting up in WWE, but like I said, his Conway's really good. His matches are hit and miss. Uh, he's been in good shape, but I think it's time for a fresh new champion, and I think MJF is on the list. If you're not going to give it to MJF, I mean, who else are you going to give it to? Nobody else is really built up strong enough, I don't think, because I think if you're going to make a new champion, now's the perfect time. That just happens to be MJF. Yep. Let's see. What are the other big matches for All Out? Uh, can't remember. Oh well, so that's all I got. Hope you guys like this review. I'll be back here for the All Out Dynamite next week, and I'll review that and the All Out pay per view. And so yeah, hope you guys like this episode. Please give me a comment and subscribe. Tell people. Give me some likes. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me comments. Give me feedback on my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, I mean, YouTube. I mean, Hangouts, WhatsApp. I mean, hit me up. I mean, let me know y'all's opinions. Uh, hope everybody stays safe and everybody's happy and doing well. Happy wrestling. See you.